Hey guys, what's going on? It's Stef here. Hope you've been well. I know I have. This week's episode, I went back to a honey hole permission that I was at quite a bit last year where I got a ton of videos. The variety of stuff I have found there is absolutely mind-blowing and the quality is through the roof. As the title of the video indicates, I did find a Masonic piece of silver, but that wasn't even my favorite find of the day. So definitely stick around for this one. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And as a reminder, before we hop in, I sell metal detecting gear now, so if you need anything metal detecting related at all, shoot me an email at stefdigs@gmail.com and I'll be able to help you out. All right, let's hop in. All right, out at a regular permission today, and we finally have gotten some rain. We're out of a drought, and I'm really thrilled about that. Got about a 20s bouncy signal, 8 inches down there. Took it out, and we have a button, which is not bad at all for the first hole of the day. Don't know if there's anything out the front. Nope, doesn't appear so, I don't think. No, nothing on the front, but it does have a complete shank. Sweet. Okay, just got a 16 signal in the Knox. It was really solid, about 4 to 6 inches down. For whatever reason, I had trouble pinpointing. Thought it was there, but it's here. And it looks like a really nice suspender clip, I believe. Oh yeah. Looks like that might have some writing on there too, so I'm going to brush that off. I'll be right back. Well, that is a different one. I can honestly say I've never found one like this. It says Continental on the front of it. Looks like it's all there. But man, I love the lettering on that. Oh, that's so cool. It's like calligraphy. I wish it had something to do with the Continental Army, but I don't think it's nearly that old. I would imagine this is somewhere in the 1800s. I've got no idea. That word, though, that gets the heart pumping. All right, be back with you on the next. Well, disclaimer, I have no idea if this is actually cool or not, but figured I would film it anyway. I've been digging up a lot of trash, but a lot of high conductors, which is a really good sign, especially given how many times I've been here. I just came up with this. Definitely looks like it's meant to be decorative. I think this part's hollow, and this part is definitely not. I really don't know. Any help's appreciated in case I don't already have this up on the screen, which I might not because this looks kind of unique. So that favorite find I was talking about just a couple minutes ago, this is it. I have always wanted to dig one of these, and I never thought it would be a lead pewter composite version of it. I always thought that maybe I would trip across a glass one of these, but anyway, let's get to what it is. It's an Inkwell, and I'm going to put some examples up on the screen for you right now. On the left side, you will see 2 examples. These were taken from the Portable Antiquities Scheme website, and they date them from anywhere from 1600 to 1800 AD. And you can see mine on the right there. I think mine personally dates somewhere in the 1700s, probably through the early 1800s. So it's at least 200 years old. And not only that, this is where I get chills. Let's take a closer look at my Inkwell right here. There are initials scratched into the side of this to the tune of DC. Now that is incredible. Such a cool relic, and I guess this was kind of common practice. A friend of mine showed me some of his inkwells that he's dug at colonial sites that were also made of lead pewter, and people just tended to carve their initials into the side of it to personalize it and I guess differentiate it from other people's in the household. Now, knowing the history of this property pretty well, those initials don't exactly line up with any of the families who've ever lived there. So it's kind of a mystery find, but also a huge bucket lister for me, not one that I was expecting to find anytime soon. All right, back to the show. Well, I just got an 18-19 signal. Sounded pretty tight, about 6 inches down. And I sound a little bummed out for a reason. I found my favorite thing to find, and it's mangled to all hell. Look at that. This would have been an absolutely gorgeous shoe buckle frame. And over time, the plows just mangled it. You can even see that it's silver applied. I've never found a silver applied one before. Gosh, it really makes me want to, risk trying to fix this, but It looks like it would have gone like this, which means this thing was massive. Oh man, if that had been complete. This is a really old break. This is very old farmland, so wow, that's still beautiful. I'll still appreciate it for sure. But boy, I wish I could fix that. Oh my goodness. That is still awesome now. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll tell you, overall it's been very slow out here today. But I did just get a signal that was almost impossible to pinpoint because it's so teeny tiny. And did I lose it? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, I found it. So we have ourselves a little corset clasp. There'd been about 5 or 6 of these on a steel spine that went down the front of your corset and made you very uncomfortable back in the 1800s. So that's kind of a cool find. I've only found a few of these so far. All right, I'll let you know what's next. All right, I'm not too far from where the suspender clip was. It was right up there. Came over here, got a 14 signal, and I practically knew what it was before I even dug it up. And I was right. We have a suspender clasp because I found probably a couple dozen of these out here and a few of this particular style actually. It's not in bad shape, at least we're finding stuff. I'm still really torn up about that shoe buckle, to be honest with you. I know it's not my fault, and it's not anyone's fault. Some guy lost his shoe buckle 200 years ago and it got eaten up by the plow. So I'm still kind of working in the same area looking for more pieces of it. But hopefully we find something by the end of the day that really makes up for it. Oh, we will. Okay, well, first target in some time, probably about an hour or so, except for a beer can, which was over a foot in the ground. And that's weird here because not a lot of the soil has been turned. So naturally, I was hoping for a shoe buckle. But anyhow, I got a solid 20 signal here, only about 4 to 6 inches down, and something round. And I can feel the shank, so we've got a little flat button. Don't know if there's anything on the back. I feel like there probably will be. This feels like a pretty substantial button, so maybe late 1700s, early 1800s, somewhere in there. Yeah, I can see a back mark coming through. If it's super interesting, I'll come back. If not, we'll just keep going. Okay, well, I'm right along the driveway here. I dug a clad quarter right there, and while it was really encouraging to hear a 2930 signal, I knew what it was going to be. Came over here and got like a 2324. Thought it was going to be a modern copper penny, but there's a little silver coin down there. I'm not even sure if it's dime sized. I think it is. Let's see what it is. Is it reeded? Looks like it's really worn, whatever it is. And yep, it's going to be a mercury dime. Cool. I'll spray that off and come right back. Alright, well, I'll start by saying that nothing is going to make up for that broken shoe buckle today. Something will make up for it. Would you have a little faith? But this put a smile on my face. 1918. And looks like it's an S mint, which I do not have. You've got to ignore my fingernails. I tried like hell today to clean them off, but I've been putting the buttons from the button dump in evapor-rust, and whenever I go to take them out, I don't use rubber gloves, which I really should. I couldn't even get this off with acetone, alcohol, nothing. So I'm not jaundiced, I promise. I'm just gross. Sorry, guys. But yeah, awesome little coin. I guess I'll keep going on in this line over here. Okay, I just pulled this out of the hole. I thought it was junk at first, and then I started rubbing it off and realized that this is a hand-engraved piece of silver. It says Franklin Lodge. Looks like number 716 F and AM. I'm going to spray that off. This took me a really long time to pinpoint. I'm not sure why. There were a lot of nails in the hole, but I've been having some problems pinpointing with the knocks lately. I think I had my sensitivity too high, but anyway. Yeah, definitely silver, not aluminum. Wow, that's really cool. I'm going to come right back. I'll spray it right off. Well, now I kind of wish I hadn't sprayed it off. That dirt was actually letting me read this a little bit better. Let's see. I can kind of get it in the light just right. At least you saw it before. I've got no idea what this is. It does appear to be broken at the top there. But man, it's a nice chunky piece of silver. I wish you could feel it through the screen. And those letters look pretty primitive to me, so I'm curious. I would say at least 1800s, I would have to imagine. Nothing on the back that I can see. But again, I just sprayed it, and as I said, unfortunately, that did not help matters. I was worried about that because there was so much dirt in the crevices. Well, that's really cool. Hunting related, maybe? Franklin Lodge? Hopefully somebody can help me out with this or I can figure it out. But that is a really cool piece. That is awesome. I love it. Okay, so if you haven't already figured it out, this is my Masonic piece of silver. Now, at the time when I dug it, I really didn't know what I had, other than that it was personalized and maybe had to do with hunting because the word lodge is on this piece of silver. I quickly uploaded a photo to Facebook and asked my friends if they had any clue whatsoever what this could be. I don't know if it's a watch fob, I don't know if it's a pendant, I don't really know what these words and initials mean on here. Can someone help me out? Pretty much immediately, people got back to me and said, Stef, this isn't about a hunting lodge. Franklin Lodge would be a Masonic lodge. The lodge number is below that, and beneath that, the F and AM, that means free and accepted Masons. So imagine my delight when I found that out, because that was really the saving grace of my poor applied silver shoe buckle that I love so much. Even though it's just a piece of it, I still love it, but this made up for it. And since I know some Freemasons are probably going to chime in if you watch my channel, rest assured this will be returned to a local lodge if it doesn't actually belong to the property owner or an ancestor or relative of the property owner. Although even if it doesn't belong to him, if I find out he's a Freemason, it's going to stay with him. So I have had a chat about this already with a Freemason, and that's how I'm going to be handling it. Just so you guys are aware, it's going to go to the right place where it should be when I can do that. My property owner isn't home a whole lot right now, so I haven't run into him to ask him, hey, does this belong to you or grandpa or whatever? But in any case, I guess I forgot to get to what exactly it is. It's more than likely a watch fob, so that would have hung out the front of your pocket with your pocket watch in, your pocket. It could have also been a pendant. As I was mentioning in the video, it was clearly broken off on the top there, so it could just be missing the bail part. And I found some examples online. I didn't save photos, and for the sake of the length of this video, I didn't want to make this too long of a cut-in, even though it's kind of becoming long. But based on the shape and the stylistic cues, I would say this is probably around turn of the century, somewhere in there. So beautiful, old, Masonic piece of silver. What more could you really ask for? Okay, one more find, back to it. Well, I'm trying to leave and this place just won't let me. I'm walking back to my car and I got a 12 to 13 signal, which I was pretty darn sure is a nickel, and it is. And I know I saw it briefly. Here you go. There it is. Nice buffalo nickel. I so rarely find these. They're such a treat. This is my third one ever. I'll brush that off and come right back. Nice way to end the day. Okay, well that took no time to clean up, and I actually have a date. 1920. That's kind of rare on buffalo nickels because that's generally what rubs off first. And the bison, not to be confused with a buffalo, these are not correctly named. This is a bison on the back. That's looking pretty good as well. So hey, like I said, nice way to end the day. All right, so that's all the time we have today. Obviously, that turned from kind of a heartbreaking hunt into an, oh my God, this is incredible kind of hunt. So really happy with the day. We're gonna move on to the wrap up, but of course, as always, before we do that, if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you enjoyed this video. On to the wrap up. All right, so there are the spoils from that hunt. Not a lot here, but that's because I'm missing a couple of things. I really am cleaning the Relic Room. I'm really doing a concerted effort for that, so I'm missing a suspender clasp and that corset clasp, but this is the rest that I was able to find right now. So we got that buffalo nickel right at the end of the day, and I guess putting this in a flip maybe wasn't the best idea because you can't see it as well right now, but it is a 1920, and it came out pretty well. Looks like there's a bit of a die rotation error too. That's cool. I just noticed that. That's always fun when you put something in a flip and you realize it's actually rotated. Anyway, our 1918 S Mercury dime. That came out really nice considering the age. Normally, when you dig one this old, they're really, really worn around the edges, so that was a treat there. my Inkwell, which I just think, or Inkwell, excuse me, I just think it's the coolest thing ever. Looks like the sun is coming out just to help us right here. You can see that DC that I was mentioning in the video, and I just think this is one of the coolest things that I've probably ever dug. I have always wanted to dig an Inkwell, and well, I got my wish, so that is amazing. I still need to preserve this properly. It is a lead pewter composite, I believe, because it's really kind of flaking in certain spots. You can see right there towards the bottom, but I've been very careful with it, so we're going to just remain careful with it until I can actually get around to preserving that properly. A couple of buttons that we found. This is the first one from the day. Had kind of a nice back mark. I didn't take the brass brush to it like I normally do with my buttons because it was actually keeping some patina on there, which is rare around here. So it's a pretty good looking button. I like that one. This one you can't even see what the back mark is. I did use the brass brush on here because I could see a little gold coming through, and I just like that a lot. So nothing on the front, but still a nice quality button. Our heartbreaker right here. Oh, I have not found any more of this yet. I've been back to the site numerous times since this was filmed about a month ago. But yeah, I mean, I've always wanted an applied silver shoe buckle frame, and I guess I kind of got my wish. If I find the rest of it, I definitely want to try to have it restored professionally. That's very much out of my area of expertise, bending brass that is this thick and hefty. Not something I'm very comfortable with. Pretty cool suspender clasp here, even though I'm missing the other ones. This will have to do. Continental across the front. I have never seen this brand before. If you guys can help me out with an age on this, I'm assuming mid-1800s. It is stamped brass, but it's heftier than most suspender clasps I find from that era. So let me know what you think. If you found one, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you found out about the age, because I am coming up empty. And of course, the find of the day here. We have our pendant or watch fob of some kind that is absolutely Masonic. Franklin Lodge number 716, free and accepted Mason. So that is just absolutely incredible. I can't believe I found that. Yeah, there's really not much to say about it. As you can see, the back is pretty dull and dirty. I did take a silver polish cloth to the front because, as you saw in the video, after I sprayed it off, when it took the dirt out of the crevices, you really couldn't see as much, and it was just very dull looking. So you can see I shined it up, and now it's easier to read. So that was definitely a priceless find there, and I'm just thrilled with that. So overall, a very good day. All right, that's it. So I really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And remember, as always, get out there, save what you can, do what you love. We'll see you next week.